Again, just looking at some gathering markers and possibly profiles. The new markers have just been implemented, so we'll go through how to set some up. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is actually be in gather mode and make sure that you are in a gathering class so that you can see the nodes on your minimap. Once you're there, the marker manager is now in the menu, and all you have to do is open it up from there. Once you're open, select your botany marker or whatever you want to do, fishing, mining, and then create a new marker. And as you can see, it will just populate. By the looks of it, it did open an old marker from a different zone. So just make sure you're in the one you want to work on. It automatically pulls your current position. If you do want to move, all you have to do is set new position. Move and set new position. Keep changing as long as you've moved. Gathering time, make sure it's not on. It's currently linked to the node search timeout. Talking to Ace about that right now. That will change, so just disregard this section at the moment. Node search timeout will come in handy later. That is for the marker list or the marker team, and you will basically time out after a node in your radius can't be found. It will move to the next marker. Obsolete in single marker. And of course, what we want to do is we want to set a radius. Obviously, 0 is not going to farm anything because that's where you're standing. The minimap size, fully zoomed out, is about 150 range. So right now we can probably set it to about 100. 150 isn't going to hurt. We'll put a couple of seconds in for that one. Make sure you set your skill profile. If you're leveling up, just go down to gather leveling. If you're doing crystals, gather crystals, clusters, whatever you want to do. They're all there. And of course selected the wrong one. Item, I believe it is ice shards or something or other like that here. It is sensitive to capitals, so make sure you spell and use the correct capitals and punctuation, whatever you want to call it. Use cordials if you want to use cordials in this. I currently have none, so it's not going to matter. If you want to gather soils or plum seeds, stuff like that, gather the gardening items, chocobo food, why is there 2 gardening items? 3 gardening items. Yeah. And of course, if stealth or if it's dangerous. And basically, stealth, pretty clear. If it's dangerous, now, certain areas, when you run to a node and dismount, you'll still have mobs chasing you and you won't be able to escape them. Basically, if it is dangerous, like that, you want to check it. It will stealth all the way through. And of course, if you want to whitelist a certain node, the type of tree or bush each have a unique ID, and it's the type. So you can see this one is number 3, however bushes are 4, mining nodes are 1 and 2, and unspoiled nodes are different again. There's about 10 of those. So depending on what you want to farm, you can whitelist a certain thing, and you can set level ranges, I believe, on some nodes. Once you've done that, you can save, and we're going to add it to the list because we're using a single marker. We're just going to use the one. It gives you a brief rundown of everything listed there, and all you need to do is basically turn it on and it will start farming. Theoretically now it should do ice shards. However, if you don't have a current node or spelt it wrong, then it will actually farm the first item it finds. So as you can see, even though I listed the item here, it says ice shards. So this is what I mean by if you spell it wrong, it won't collect the right item. So what you need to go back in here is delete this one and save it, and then go back to your list. That's spelled right now. So now, oh, there you go. Started doing it already. Didn't even wait for the next node. Even though it does appear that it is a lowercase on your screen, most, and I do say most items are capital, initially starting with a capital. That's one of the things you need to be aware of. And that's it for the markers. I will go through profiles. Oh, and that's the other thing I need to mention. If you have a profile selected, it will not use markers. And I'll just go through profiles right now. Alright, profiles. As you can see, you do have profiles you can select from. The one I'm going to show you right now is the example. Now, the example profile is found in your gathering profiles LUA. And what you need to do is just open it up. And most of the parameters are already listed here. There are a couple of tasks that are pre-made, so you can understand some of what they do. Conditions, so the conditions you were required to actually initiate the task, that sort of thing. So in this case, the item count of item number 4, which is in this case, I believe it's a shard or a crystal or something like that. Then if you have less than 2,000, it will become an available task. Now, if it's unavailable, it will just ignore it and move on to the next task. Two different types of tasks, which are set by the type, as you can see here. One is botany, and this one down here is mining. Now, if you have an active mining task, you do need to set your gear set. Gear set is taken from the in-game menu, as you should know. It will swap as long as you have it set right. If it's not set right, you will end up standing there and then we'll get 100 questions asking why it's not working, and we don't want that. So make sure you set your profile up properly. Again, item 1, as seen in the markers, capitals. Remember your capitals. And if can't actually see it, it's just down here. You've got your max node levels, min node levels, whether it's unspoiled, you've got your whitelist, you've got your types, it's all in here. So gather maps, if you want to do a certain map by ID, gather rares. We do have weather conditions, especially for fishing. That's quite handy. A maximum time for your marker, or again for timeouts, such as 3 nodes. You want, as displayed here, you want 2,000. So 2,000 is actually 2 seconds. So just make sure that you don't just set it as 2, assuming that it's going to be 2 seconds, and then wonder why it skips nodes. So just be aware of that. Of course, you've got your weather shifts, now, last, next. Again, make sure you do your spelling right. It's again, gale with a capital G, etc. Fog with a capital F. That is profiles and how to set them up. Of course, all you have to do is select your profile and then off it goes. However, I have no idea where that one actually goes. And of course, the alternative, I would be silly if I didn't promote my own stuff. We do have pre-made store-bought profiles. As you can see here, in my botany profile, you can select pretty much any node or task, whatever you want to do. You can select what you want to level up on. It will go from 1 to 60. You can do times, blue nodes, or just collectibles, normal items, all the times for Heaven's Ward, all the time stuff for pre-Heaven's Ward. Ephemeral nodes, they're really handy for clusters, and you can set your own type of gathering method as well. So depending on what level or rating you want to collect it at. We also have fishing. Fishing will be my next guide, so stay tuned for that one. I will be doing markers now. I just need to change zone back to a Heaven's Ward, and then I will continue. Alright, so we're in Heaven's Ward now. Just a couple of things people need to know. If you haven't done much gathering in Heaven's Ward, there are sets of twos. Nodes are in sets of twos. So as you can see, there's one there and there's one here. That is one set of nodes. Second set, as you can see over here, there's one just there, there's one there, and of course the third set miles away, down the bottom, all the way over here. Now, generally speaking, it is easiest to set one marker per set of nodes. So in this case, we're going to need 3 sets of nodes. As you can see here, I've already set some up. This is what we call a marker team because they work in groups of 3. So to actually set them up, you need to add them to your list. And to do that, you need to first of all select marker list, believe it or not. Click on the first one and then add to list. Oh, you can see I've already set them up. So that's one of the flaws at the moment. You can actually add it to add 2. So what we'll do is we'll just remove one and then we'll just re-add it again. I haven't actually set up items together just because it's a demonstration. Again, once you if you want to change the position, all you need to do is set new position. The gathering insert, the timeout node, all you want to do is a couple of seconds and then hit start, and we're just going to show you what happens. So first of all, you can be pretty much anywhere as long as you're within the zone. That may eventually be able to change markers across zones and change zones. So as you can see, it's moved to the first marker. Again, I haven't set up a particular item for it to farms because I don't need any of these. So it's farming crystals. Once it's moved on from these ones, it should go to the next marker. Should. Let's hope it works. Anyway, so this is what it does. Now what it should do is time out from these nodes and then move on to the next one. As you can see, I'm back to the first place because I set the range too far and it actually got the second set of nodes. So it did change. Just change this to 70. Remember to save it. Second one will do the 70 as well. And then the third one being miles away doesn't matter in the slightest. But that's how marker list works. Once it does this one, it will actually go back to the first one. So that's done. Don't need to waste any more time on this. Have fun.